Good afternoon, welcome to the NEU's replacement ballot party. My name is Mari Burton, I work for the National Education Union, and thank you after a very long day of what I'm sure is a very long week for joining us to talk about all things NEU ballot related. I've just been told recently that it is Christmas jumper day today, so for those of you enjoying a Christmas jumper, I'm glad that we can also be in solidarity with this as well. So, I'm very pleased to be joined today by our Joint General Secretaries, Mary and Kevin, and we've also got Louise Atkinson, our National President, who is on the line as well. We'll be getting a chance to speak to all of these people later today, but I want to just give you a quick overview about what we're doing today and why we're having this replacement ballot party. So, as you know, the NEU has got our pay ballot ongoing at the moment. Quite a number of people have requested replacement ballots, and so we want to make sure that you guys know that the last chance which you've got to request one is this Friday. So today we're going to talk about why you should vote yes in the ballot, how you go about voting yes, and also how you go about getting that replacement ballot should you need one, and also what else you can do to support our pay ballot. It is a massively important discussion we're having right now. It's something that we've been so pleased to see everyone get involved with the photos, the videos, the social media comments. If you're watching right now, feel free to join in and come along with us. If you're watching this on social media, give us some comments, give us some shout outs. We want to try and say hello to you as well. And again, thank you so much for joining us. Apologies, we haven't got with us today any BSL. We've had a bit of a technical glitch. We will try and resolve this as soon as we can, but we haven't got any today, I'm afraid. So first of all then, let's talk about why we have put this ballot out, why we're asking you to vote yes. And I'm going to move over to Mary Bousted, who is our Joint General Secretary, who's going to explain why this ballot's important and why we really want you to vote yes in it.
Good afternoon, everyone. So you will know, working in schools, that education is absolutely on its knees, and that's caused by a number of factors. Teachers who qualified in 2010 and have made their way up the main pay scale, they've lost over £64,000 in pay cuts against the cost of inflation. If you qualified 5 years ago, you've lost £30,000. That's how much pay you've lost because it hasn't risen in line with inflation. And that low pay means that we've got a massive teacher and teaching assistant shortage. This year, the government's initial teacher training figures, the government only just reached over half of its targets. Some subjects, like physics, well, basically, you're a dying breed, Kevin. There are no physics teachers left. But even in my subject, English, that's 20% below target. Primary is 11% below target. That's never been the case before. And then 40,000 teachers leave the profession within 10 years of qualification. So we've got a massive teacher shortage. We've got a massive teaching assistant shortage. Now, you will know that I am no fan of Ofsted, but today's Ofsted annual report is absolutely astounding. And what Ofsted say are that the curriculum is being narrowed, children with special educational needs are getting the support they need because there aren't enough teachers and there aren't enough teaching assistants. They're saying that a whole range of extracurricular activities that children should be getting, they can't get because schools can't afford put them on, extra sports, extra games. They're saying that all the support services around schools, children's social work, support for special needs, support for children in foster care, they've been all decimated, and that leaves schools and teachers and teaching assistants and leaders on their own with inadequate budgets trying to make up for what the government has cut in terms of support for local authorities and the support around the school. So, if not now, when are we going to stand up for children? When are we going to stand up for young people? When are we going to stand up for the profession? And when are we going to stand up for education? And that's why it is essential that you vote yes in the ballot, and even more essential that you post your ballot today. So you can vote now, you can confirm now, you can order a ballot if you can't find it, and the order is on screen, the replacement ballot. So make sure to vote and make sure to confirm your vote.
Thank you very much, Mary. And again, if you're not sure your ballot is, there is a QR code, I'm reliably informed, above Kevin's head, floating now, so scan that. If you've already voted, make sure you've got other people in your school who voted as well. So if they're not sure where their ballot is, get them to scan this, tell them it's really, really easy to order a replacement ballot. But the deadline for doing this is this Friday at 5 p.m. So if you miss that, we can't send you another vote. So it is very, very easy to vote. Let's talk a bit more about how you can do that, and again, just go over how you can get that replacement ballot should you need it. So, Kevin, can I go over to you for that? How then can our members vote?
I'd like that. I'm going to answer that, but I just want to agree with Mary. The fact that Ofsted have said these things today, it builds on what the Financial Times was saying on Monday. It builds on what the IFS is saying. There is an overwhelming moral case for what we're saying. Our profession is under attack. Unless there is a pay rise, there'll be huge teacher shortages. It's terrible for the children in this country. We're doing the right thing. But to do the right thing, people have to vote. And one misunderstanding is easy to have because we had an electronic ballot. And a lot of people voted in the electronic ballot. They have to vote again. They have to vote in the postal ballot. That's not a decision of the union. That's the law in the country. A strike ballot has to be a fully postal ballot. So you have to find the piece of paper that we've sent. You have to put an X on it. You have to put it back in the reply paid envelope, and you have to put it in the post. That is the only way that you can record your vote in this ballot. It has to be by post. And I just want to say, why we need people to vote. There are sort of two reasons. Because of the union laws, we need to get a really huge turnout. We need to get a huge response. So every vote really counts. But actually, I think there's an argument that's more important than that about why everyone needs to vote. Is every vote is adding to the moral force of our argument. When Mary and I meet with government ministers, if we've got more members behind us, we have more voice in the room with them. So we want everyone to vote so they're part of that argument. You may have mislaid your ballot form. If it's on the mantelpiece, find it, post it. If it's lost, you can order a new one. But this Friday is absolutely the last date for ordering a replacement ballot. This Friday, 16th of December, there's no time left. If you need a replacement, scan the QR code above my head somewhere, use that to order a replacement, do that today. If it's at home, find it. Now, the last date for getting it back to Civica, the returning agent for the ballot, is the 13th of January. But please just realise what level of delay there is in the post at the moment, both caused by justified industrial action by the postal workers, but also by the general Christmas delays and the general underfunding at the post office. There are huge delays. So get your ballot in the post as soon as you can. My partner, I was a physics teacher, like Mary said. Even physics teachers are in short supply. Even English teachers in short supply now, what Mary was. My partner was a primary teacher in year 1, year 2, year 3. We all know how exhausting it is, how this is the longest term, this is the longest week. You're trying to get ready for that end of year performance or whatever else you've got in your class. But make sure before you go off for Christmas that your ballot is in the post, or if you've lost it, that you've ordered a replacement.
Fantastic.
Oh, and one other thing I should just say. Your colleagues in NAHT, your head teacher in NAHT, they might be in the NEU, but if they're in NAHT, they're being balloted, they're voting as well. Colleagues in the NASUWT, they're also being balloted. So talk with them and encourage them to send their ballots back as well. There's more voice for all of them, it's more voice for all of us in those conversations with Gillian Keegan.
It's hard to remember who is in that particular post at the moment, isn't it? So you've heard it here first. Again, this is not just the NEU who are doing this ballot. We've got colleagues in NASWT or NASUWT. We've got colleagues in NAHT who are also balloting for this action. And it's just vitally important that you also get this back in. Even though, as I say, this is the longest, darkest week and you're crawling towards the end of the term, do make sure that your colleagues, your friends in school are also doing this. We're now going to turn to National President Louise Atkinson. Now, loads of you, thousands and thousands, have already voted and may have been watching this video going, I've done this, and then what? So I want to turn over to Louise, who's going to speak to us about what else you can do to support this ballot to make sure we really smash those thresholds as soon as we can early January. So over to you, Louise.
Hi, thanks very much, Mary. And you're absolutely right, that's what we want to do, smash those thresholds. As Kevin and Mary have laid out there, the more votes that we get, the bigger return we get on that ballot, the more power that they've got when they're going in to speak to government. So as Mary said, if you have sent your ballot off, there are other ways that you can help, because it needs all of us helping to do this at the moment. So one suggestion is possibly post a ballot for a friend. I know I've got a post box at the end of my street, but I don't know how many times I pass that and forget. Sometimes somebody might just need you to say, I'll take that ballot for you. If they filled it in and sealed the envelope, you can take it and you can pop it in the post box for them. That might just be the little help that they need. Also, talk to everybody. Conversations really matter. So just remind everybody, Friday is the last time to get a replacement ballot. So double check if your colleagues know where they are, make sure that they get them back in the post. But if they don't, they need to get a replacement ballot ordered before Friday. So speak to everybody that you can in school. My mum used to work in education. She's been retired now for about 10 years, and I've got her on the job of phoning up and speaking to everybody that she used to work with or who she's still in contact with, because it is really important. Those conversations will really, really help. And possibly have a bring your ballot to school lunch one day. If you can get colleagues together, colleagues can bring their ballots in together, collect those in. And if you do that, please do get a photo, because if you send them in to us, we can share them on our social medias as well. It's always great to see groups of members together completing and sending their ballots in. And then the last suggestion is speak to your rep. I've been around Carlisle, which is where I'm based. I've gone and met a few reps over the last week or so, and they are working really hard, as all of us are working really hard. But I'm sure if you just speak to your rep, you can offer to help your rep. They might have some suggestions of colleagues that they haven't been able to get round to speak to, and they might just really appreciate somebody who can give them a hand with that. We've got great reps within our union, but also doing really, really busy work and hard work. So any help that you can offer to your rep would be much appreciated as well. But thanks ever so much for joining us.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Louise. Loads of really good ideas. And again, we love seeing you guys getting involved with this. So anything you can put on social media, any pictures, any films like that, we really love that. So do make sure that you do that. So last thing from me then, thank you so much at home for joining us after what I know is going to be a very, very busy day. I hope it's not too cold and too snowy for those of you out there. It's certainly clearing up a bit in London at least. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure that if you haven't voted yet, vote now. If you have, get a mate to vote. If you've lost your ballot, scan that screen. This video is going to go out again on social, so if you've missed us live, that scan thing still does work. Have a fantastic Christmas, have a really peaceful New Year and a really enjoyable holiday and a great rest of your week. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Merry Christmas.